Were thrilled that Community Teamwork was interested in taking on Big Brothers Big Sisters as a program under the CTI umbrella of programs. Both CTI and Big Brothers Big Sisters board agreed that maintaining the Big Brothers Big Sisters brand was important in ensuring a smooth transition and maintaining the high standards required of the Big Brothers Big Sisters of America affiliate organization. The Big Brothers Big Sisters Advisory Board, as well as we are known now, is so pleased with the success of our collaboration with CTI. On a personal note, I'd like to thank Craig, who was so supportive of me and of all my extracurricular activities. And finally, thank you to my friends. I have the mic, so I guess this is okay to do. Patty and Frank and Patty and Michael for being here today. And if Bill and Steve want to come up and say something, I welcome them to come up. But on their behalf and on behalf of all of the other board members, I want to thank all of the family and friends who are here tonight of our board and of Big Brothers Big Sisters in general for being here and supporting Big Brothers Big Sisters and Community Teamwork.
I have a few brief comments to make here. Seriously, I had the pleasure of being actually the board president during the time of the transition, and and we're seeing the example of what the program does. You know, during that time, I can't compliment enough Karen Frederick and then Connie Martin in running this program and Abby Torville. They worked with us. It was a very big exception with Big Brother Big Sister of America for us to carry on the Big Brother Big Sister name. We wrote joint letters to the organization, and with Karen we made visits to our funders to make sure they would continue to support the organization. And we saw right off that we looked at a number of options, and a lot of programs went away when they folded into Boston and didn't have the local connection. But with CTI, with the multiple programs that they have, we saw that with the services that they would bring to individuals that all would need the service of a big brother or big sister. So it was just a tremendous support. And the board has stayed committed to this because of the tremendous support we've received from CTI. So thank you all very much for supporting such a wonderful organization.
Final award and recipient.
I haven't done that yet. So.
When my two daughters were little, my wife had a little bookcase that when she was a little child at her house, so she brought it up from, she had it down in the basement. It was one of the things she brought over from her childhood home, which I didn't even know was down there. But and slowly but surely, she began filling up that bookcase, you know, until it was full and overflowing. But it gave me the opportunity to be exposed to a lot of wonderful, wonderful books. But I have to say, my favorites are the time-honored Dr. Seuss books. And I think it's only because of the rhymes, but there's a lot of messages in there. There's a lot of lessons to be learned, as there is in most children's books. But even for someone like myself, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, green eggs and ham, cat in the hat. But my personal favorite was one that it was also Dr. Seuss's personal favorite, actually. I read about that later. But he released it in 1971. It's called The Lorax. And in that book, he took the very difficult issue of the struggle between business and the environment and basically brought it down to a level that not only a child could understand, but I could understand. It was wonderful. But I remember there was a line in that book that always stayed with me. And he wrote, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Our next recipient is that unless. She cared about the education of her children and also cared about the education of 5 decades of our community's children, and things did get better. She's a former Head Start parent and teacher, a present Head Start advocate and leader. She continues to prove that one caring person can make the greatest of differences for a community. We are blessed to have her as a member of ours. And I'd like to bring up a special guest who started his education excuse me, at Head Start back when the program was housed in the Tewksbury State Hospital. From there he attended Tewksbury Public Schools, graduated from Shawshene Tech. He worked for Comcast for over 10 years, during which time he went to BU at night before graduating in 2007. He just recently graduated with his JD degree from Suffolk University Law School and his MBA from Suffolk Sawyer Business School. Patrick O'Brien Nichol is our next recipient's grandson, and he will make the award.
Good evening. So I'm here today to introduce a person I know as Annie, but many of you will know as Rita O'Brien-Z. CTI has had a huge impact on our family. When the program started, my grandmother became a teacher through it. And through that program, she earned her associate's degree and taught for many years before she finally retired. I actually distinctly remember when she retired. I was so sad. She's going to get old now. But she remained involved. That's why we're here today. And there's a quote that I thought of while I was trying to figure out what remarks I wanted to make tonight. I sort of paraphrased here. It's a Chinese saying. It says, "Heaven endures and earth is everlasting. And it is because they do not live for themselves that they endure." And I think that this encapsulates what CTI provides for our family. It provides for my grandmother a conduit and outlet for passion and for vitality, and she can help the community, and it keeps, really, truly keeps her young. I honestly go to her house, if she happens to be home and not here, and she's selling tickets to something, but I'm very proud of her, and I would like to bring her up now. My grandmother, my nanny, Rita O'Brien.
Isn't he the cutest? I have some other cute ones down here. Okay, you're really going to be surprised. I'm going to give you a laugh. And Donna, spoil my fun. I didn't know. You were going to come with yellow pages too. They wonder why I need a computer. Really? That's how I did my CPA too. And you should see the papers I threw away. All right. Rita would say, I'm from CNN, time to get started. Okay. My precious bag that I take everywhere. Make sure everybody sees it. Oh, I guess I need to Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here, and welcome to the James Houlares Learning Center. My gym over there. Congratulations to my co-honorees, Big Brothers Big Sisters Advisory Council and Merrimack Valley Housing Partnership, two wonderful organizations that certainly deserve to be honored. Wow, how do I sum up 52 years in a few minutes? Since Head Start was my bailiwick, I'll begin there. Don't you love that word? In 1965, Head Start was introduced as a brand new anti-poverty initiative and was a cornerstone of community action. It started as a 7-week summer program for low-income children and transitioned into a school year program. At that time, I was a single parent raising 5 children on my own. Because we were a low-income family, someone came to register my 4th child, Paul, for this program. At the same time, he asked me if I would like to be a mother's aide in the classroom. I was able to find a sitter, my niece, for my children, and that was the beginning of my Head Start career. Who knew? 2 years later, my youngest child, David, attended Head Start, and much later, 4 of my grandchildren attended. All 6 of them graduated high school and earned college degrees. I like to think it was the influence of Head Start that wanted them to keep on learning. Over 27 years with the Head Start program, as an aide and as a teacher, my classrooms embraced over 500 beautiful children of different cultures and their parents. During this time, I was fortunate to have worked with 8 dedicated teachers and/or aides. My classrooms were set up in 9 different locations. Keep this in mind. Many lifelong lessons were captured in those years. It gives me a strong feeling of pride and joy to remember the effect we had on each other and what was achieved by and for the children, my co-workers, and myself. I know that many of these children also went on to schools of higher learning. Right, Ann Busky? Jim Houlares was our director and education coordinator. He always promoted and encouraged the staff's professional development. The staff had a series of child development courses, and of course, and because of his diligence, we had the opportunity to enroll at Wheelock College and obtain our associate degree. Jim also introduced us to the Child Development Associate Credential Program, known as CDA. He was our mentor for this process, which was a portfolio of proof that an applicant is competent in 14 areas of a child's growth and development. Compiling it was a significant task, a fabulous learning experience, and a personal achievement. For 1 year, Jim assigned me to be a mentor for 5 CDA candidates. Jim was very proud of his staff when they succeeded. He wanted the best for us and from us, and we gave our best in return. I know his influence made me a better teacher. Believe it or not, the Head Start program didn't own the building until 1995, when this very building became available. Up there. Jim relentlessly pursued its purchase, along with community teamwork. I was retired by then, and Jim asked me and another retired teacher to testify in Boston about all the locations we had used to set up our classrooms. Although neither one of us would get a chance to work in this building, we were able to tell our story on behalf of our peers. They also had dealt with many locations. Think back to the 8 locations I taught in, for example. Trying to find appropriate sites was not an easy task. They were mostly church halls or basements. They then had to be adapted to be safe, healthy environments for the children. Remember, Jim? This required removing or covering lead paint, a lot of cleaning, at times painting windows and doors, and usually having to install new fire doors. Eventually, Community Teamwork owned this building. At its opening, my son Paul cut the ribbon because he had been one of the first children in the Head Start program. When Jim retired, this building was named for him. It was a well-deserved honor, Mr. Hoffman. While I was working and studying for my degree and portfolio, I was still raising my 5 children, and life was going on at home. We led a pretty normal life overall, but there were times when they didn't have all my attention, and they learned to do for themselves. In hindsight, this was a good thing. To be sure, we had our moments, as all families do, but together we survived. Our saddest time was when we lost our Paul in 1998 at age 35. I was fortunate to have had the village with my parents, my siblings, and their spouses, who were our moral support, our transportation, and surrogates for my children. I am more than happy to say that my children grew up to be respectful, responsible, caring, loving, successful citizens with a good work ethic. That was my prayer for them, and as a single mother, I thank God and my children. I thank God and my children for who they are. Love you guys. The Head Start program was the first half of my journey with community teamwork. The next half was volunteering for 25 years. Community teamwork helps low-income people to become self-sufficient by bridging the gap of their needs with their programs. They get families from here to there, be it shelter, job assistance, housing, fuel, nutrition, childcare, or after-school programs. Community teamwork is always there to help. Serving on the board of directors and volunteer for community teamwork has allowed me to be a small force for change. So many more diversified programs have been introduced over the years, from those for infants to the elderly, programs that help to impact people's lives as they did for mine and my families. Last page. Community Teamwork is grateful for your attendance here tonight, as fundraising is a very important and necessary part of keeping their programs to get going. I also thank you for coming to play with us, and thanks to the committee for doing such a great job setting it up. I am truly humbled by this honor from Community Teamwork. It has been a meaningful and satisfying 52-year journey, and God willing, I could stay the course a while longer. Let me leave you with this thought. Count your blessings by smiles, not tears. And count your age by friends, not years. Thank you.
the picture, we'll do the raffle.